But look, for me, obviously, there was one glaring hole, and we filled it again for I believe it's the 8th year in a row. We're starting a new quarterback that's going to start at day one.
Wow.
My goodness, my goodness. Well, this year it is Jaden Daniels. He's the one who gets to don the burgundy and gold. No, that was not the direction I wanted to go. But in hindsight, looking at his upside, looking at how Cliff Kingsbury has always kind of had a quarterback with a similar skill set. And if you look on the other side, we have a defensive head coach in Dan Quinn. And what is the number one thing defensive coaches hate? And that is a mobile quarterback, somebody that can stretch the field with their arm and their legs. So I love this pick. Now with all of the things we've done in free agency to build around him, this is great. 1 year too late, Washington. I would have liked you to done that for Sam, but I understand you had to get the old regime out. I get it. After that, for me, you and I know how good Josiah Newton is. We watched him at Illinois this last year. I'm not going to lie. At this pick, my mind was so focused on we got a quarterback, now we need a left tackle. And then once I saw how all those left tackles went, again, in hindsight, I could look at this pick and be like, okay, this is great. My first thought was we got Jonathan Allen, we got Daron Payne, we just paid them both. We also got big Fidarius Mathis that we picked up a couple years back. Now we're going to bring this guy in. But one of the things that I like about Dan Quinn and what he did with that Dallas defense, outside of the Micah Parsons and the Trayvon Diggs, that Dallas defense wasn't necessarily great, but it was the way that he was able to position everybody. That constant rotation, bringing different guys in and out, keeping everybody fresh, where you get guys that really, like Dorrance Armstrong, that have 7 or 8 sacks, and it's like, who is this guy again? But it's because he works in that system. And Josiah Newton, we know he could be a game breaker. He was one of our game balls last year. You know what I mean? So I love this. And then the other part I didn't think about, he's from Illinois. Who do we pick up last year? Quan Martin from Illinois. You start pairing some of these guys together. Now all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is good. This is good. That was the 36th pick. The 40th pick, I wanted Cooper. I wanted the next Jason Sehorn. I wanted my white corner. I wanted Cooper. But we traded back. We traded back with Philly, mind you. And who did they do? Got Cooper. Damn. But in hindsight, again, very happy what we did. We got 2 more picks. We got the 50 and the 53, and then we got like the 147th or something like that. With the 50, we pick up your guy, Mike Samerstill, and immediately we picked him up. I hit up Will. I was like, yes, sir. This is it. This is a great pick. I was telling you about him. This is a great pick. Followed it up with getting another tight end, more of an H-back type guy, and Ben Sinnott from Kansas State. Love that. Got our O tackle later, Brandon Coleman. I've heard good things.
He's going to be a good development guy. It's going to take a year or 2, but
And see, that's one of the things where I'm kind of like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And the reason being, you look back last year, we get Arkansas center Ricky Strongberg. He ends up getting hurt. Braden Daniels from, I think it was Utah last year. He ends up not playing at all. So obviously I'm a little jaded by the pass on that, but new regime. Let's see how that all plays out. But probably one of my favorite picks of this draft, and a spot that I thought we needed to put a little bit of attention to. We might not be done. With the 100th pick, we pick up Christian McCaffrey's little brother, Luke McCaffrey, baby. And I'm telling you, man, 6'2", 198, used to play quarterback. Now he's got, played at Rice. Obviously, might not have that many eyes on him. But they had not Keaton Slovis, JT Daniels, right?
JT Daniels,
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, hey, I love this pick. I hope that he can get into potentially be our slot guy. I'm looking for Jahan Dotson to have a bounce back year this year. But I'm definitely excited about this. The rest of those, Jordan McGee, Dominique Hampton, and Javante Jean-Baptiste. Dominique Hampton I like because we needed some depth at safety, and this guy is a hitter. Little issues maybe on coverage a little bit, but the way that Joe Witt Jr., who is our defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, worked with those corners. You look at Bland last year, who had a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that. So I'm eager to see what he does. But with that being said, this has been the best draft that I think Washington has had in some time. I really had to go back and look. And a lot of people want to go back to that 2012 draft. We got RG3, we got Kirk Cousins, we got a number of pieces, but obviously RG3 never panned out. Kirk is getting paid left, right, center. So shout out to him. But I honestly, I got to really go back to think of how far it's been since we really got a draft where it feels like we not only address needs, but we built up, we made smart moves. We traded back, got this pick, traded back, did this. I love that because we're kind of doing similar to what everybody envies. Like Ben was saying, we're trying to do what the Lions do. You know what I mean? We're trying to pick up these pieces, be smart about it. We got our centerpiece at quarterback. Now let's try to build around him. And for me, after many years in that dark rain cloud, Alex, I see the sun, Alex.
Yeah, I see the sun. I was gonna say it's starting to shine over.
Come on, man.
What you guys have done this offseason with free agency and the draft and everything, I think people are going to be sleeping on you guys. I think you'll be a solid team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm with that. Nate. Count your days and trying to have the same argument about what they should have taken. Nathan and I both kind of thought definitely needed a quarterback, and that's beyond what we needed. I thought there were some guys we could have potentially gotten later. And we were thinking O lineman, but you gotta have your QB. And it's not a Drew Bledsoe. This guy's not a statue in the pocket. So this guy can maneuver. So he could give us a year or two, hopefully, if he can stay healthy, a year or two to then get another tackle or get somebody in free agency draft or whatever. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, and you're starting to see a bunch of offensive linemen, quality guys get into free agency now.
Yes.
So with the money you guys have kind of stockpiled over the last couple of years and the amount of top-tier prospects that are coming into the draft over the next few years as well, I think this is a good time to be looking for an offensive lineman personally.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
College Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.